Hi dear students, let's see this question that came in JEE Advanced Paper 2 Physics. This was a numeric type question based on the concept of thermodynamics. This was one very beautiful question, let me tell you, but unfortunately IIT was wrong in framing the question and hence eventually it became a bonus. One more interesting fact about this question is that when IIT had released their first key, then they had given answer 6 for this particular question. But eventually it got challenged and they had to accept their mistake, and finally it became a bonus question. So I'm going to give you an amazing insights in this question, that why or how they could have gotten the answer 6, and why did it eventually become bonus. Also, we will see the correct solution to this question, because many other sources have not given the complete or they have given incorrect solution. Also, you will get one PDF for a better understanding of this question or what is happening over here. So you can read that if you are interested. So let us see what is happening over here. This is an insulated cylinder in which there is a piston which is of mass 8.3 kg, and this piston is frictionless, so it can slide. Initially the piston divides this container in equal halves, so somebody must be holding this piston, and we have to understand that piston, this whole system is in vertical plane, vertical axis. That means gravity is the effect of gravity has to be taken, right? Now, this is insulated. That means there is no heat that can enter the system. Heat energy is not allowed to enter the system. So initial temperature has been given as 300 Kelvin. Moles in both the chambers are zero point 0.1, and we have to find. So when we release this piston, eventually it attains equilibrium, and we have to find the distance of the piston from the top end. So initially you can say the both the chambers will have the length of 4 meters. So this will be 4 and this will also be 4. So we have to find the distance between the piston and the top of the cylinder. That is what we have to find. Now, uh, first of all, IIT gave the answer 6 in the first case I told you. So let us see how we can get answer 6. Of course, in that case, in my opinion, IIT neglected the work done by gravity. We have to think carefully over here. As we release the system, eventually it is going to go down because of gravity. But in so basically gravity is going to do some work, but in my opinion IIT neglected that, or forgot that work, and we got the answer 6. So let's see how do we get answer 6. If there is no work done by gravity, or we ignore the work done by gravity, then basically we can say that there is no heat entering the system and there is no work being done by any external agent as well. Hence, the total energy contained in the system, or the total internal energy of the system, we can say will remain conserved. Hence, NCV delta T, which is the total energy, where you can say N is zero point 0.2 because zero point 0.1 plus zero point 0.1 moles. So total energy of the system remains constant. Hence, we can say that delta T remains constant, and hence we can say temperature is constant. One very important fact which I forgot to tell you was that this piston was conducting. That means temperature on both the sides of this piston will remain constant. Yeah, same, not constant. Let me say it will be same. That means temperature will change with time, but it whatever temperature is in the upper of the piston, like in the upper chamber, that will also be in the bottom chamber because of the conducting nature of the piston, right? So if we ignore the work done by gravity, then let us see how do we solve this question. So eventually, let us say this is the top, this is the bottom, and let us say this is the final situation, or piston has acquired the equilibrium, and this is the scenario. So if we assume this to be certain distance y, so what we can say, the temperature has not changed, moles anyway is constant, so nRT is constant. So we can say that uh, if we say that here pressure is P finally when the equilibrium has been achieved, so it is very easy to say that here the pressure will be mg upon area, where A is the area of this cross-section area of the piston. Because of the equilibrium condition, we can say that this pressure will be P plus mg by A, right? So if we equate PV if we equate nRT part of the gas law in the upper chamber, since T has not changed, N has not changed, so we can say that initial, like P is the pressure over here, volume is area into Y, so P into A into Y, that will be equals to nRT. So N will be equals to zero point 0.1 into R, which whose value was given as 8.3 in the question, and T, temperature has not changed, so it remains 300, right? Now nRT part will be same for both, so we can say that this will also be equals to zero point 0.1 into 8.3 into 300 will be equals to P plus mg by A. Now m of the piston was 8.3 into gravity, that means 83 upon area, right, into cross section area, into this length will be 8 minus y, because total length was 8, so we can say that this will be 8 minus y, right? So from here now you can see very easily that value of PA can be directly found from the first equation. PA is how much? 83 into 3 by y, correct? Two zeros will cancel zero point 0.1 and this decimal. So we can say 83 by 83 into 3 by y. So P into, if you take this A inside, so this will become P into A, which will become 83 into 3 by y, right? Plus this A and A will become 83, right? And this will become 8 minus y, and this will again become 83 into 3, right? So 83 is cancelled, and what are we left with? 3 by y plus 1 is equal into 8 minus y is equals to 3, right? So if you solve this is a simple quadratic. If you solve this, you're going to get y as 6. You can also check 6 satisfies this solution, this equation. If you put 6 over here, this will become 3 by 6. This is 1 plus 3 by 6 is 3 by 2. Into this will become 2. So 3 by 2 into 2 becomes 3. So this equation is satisfied. So you can see y is, when you solve this, you will get y equals to 6. And hence the answer was given 6 in the first key. In my opinion, this is how they might have gotten answer 6. But of course, this is wrong solution. Why is this wrong solution? Because as I said, we have ignored the work done by gravity, which is of course not right. Now, before going back to the correct solution, let us think why this question is interesting. Yeah, if you think deeply in this question, then what is that fact? What is that single fact, which might have intrigued, or yeah, which might have confused some of the good students in the exam? Let's see a spring block system to understand that. Suppose I'm holding this block right now, and the spring is in natural length. So if the spring is in natural length and I'm holding this block and I release it, what is going to happen? Of course, this block is going to go down because of the gravitational force. There will be a moment when the gravity will be balanced by the spring force. Let us say at this distance. So this will be equilibrium position. But will the block stop here? Of course not, because it would have acquired some velocity. It will come down. In this part of the motion, we can say that block will start retarding, because the net force of the spring will overtake the gravitational force, and hence we can say that it will start retarding. It will stop over here. It will again come back, and again it would have acquired some velocity, and it will again go till here, and again it will complete. It will repeat this motion forever. That means it will oscillate. Now, some of the students thought, yeah, like they had this idea that this was exactly what is going to happen to the piston. If you think carefully, so basically, we can get a notion that this is exactly what is going to happen. This is our piston. Now, if we release the piston, right now it is going to go down because of gravity. Pressure forces are same on both the sides, right? So it is going to go down because of gravity. Let us say here the piston is in equilibrium, but think carefully, piston would have acquired some velocity, right? Because till this point it was accelerating. So when it goes down beyond this because of its velocity, what happens? We can say that now it will start retarding. because equilibrium has been achieved at this stage. That means before this, mg was overpowering the net pressure force. That means pressure of bottom minus pressure of up. So net pressure force was being overpowered by mg above this, and that now after this net pressure force will overpower mg. That means reverse scenario is going to happen. So piston will, let us say, stop over here. So here net pressure force is overpowering mg, so it will go up. Again it will, it will acquire some velocity till here, and again it will come and stop here. So it should repeat the same type of motion. Hence piston should always oscillate and it should never acquire equilibrium. That means it should never come to full stop at equilibrium. This is what this notion might have confused some of the students. So this, now let us see what is exactly going to happen. See, in reality, piston is actually going to achieve equilibrium because of the damped oscillation. There is one critical difference between the spring block system and the piston oscillation. Here, the oscillation of the piston will be damped. Now, let us see why the oscillation of the piston will be damped. When piston moves down, let me draw the piston over here. So this is the piston, right? So when it is going down, this small layer of the gas which is in contact with the piston in the upper chamber, here the pressure decreases. You can think that the bulk pressure will be slightly more than this pressure. Why? Because here the piston is going down, so sort of vacuum, I will not use the word vacuum, but I can say that sort of, density of the gas will be less over here in comparison to the bulk. So here pressure will be less, and opposite will happen on the in the bottom side. Here the piston is, suppressing, or we can say that piston is pushing, it is the gas. So basically here the density of the gas will be slightly more in this part, right, compared to the bulk of the bottom. So this will result in a drag force. This will result in a drag force on the piston. When it goes up, opposite again happens. Here the density increases in the top slight layer, and bottom slight layer density decreases. So we can say that there will be a drag force always acting on the piston. Now this drag force is responsible for damped oscillation. If you want to read more about it, the PDF has been given and you can actually go through that PDF. It's a beautiful read and you will certainly going to enjoy it. So this drag force eventually eats away the kinetic energy of the piston. But mind you, this energy is not lost. This is still contained in the internal energy of the cylinder. Because although this is eating away the kinetic energy of the piston, this energy is not being lost to the surrounding. It is contained by the gas molecules. So that ways, this question was beautiful. Piston will give up all its kinetic energy to the gas molecules. So we can still use work energy theorem on the whole cylinder. Now let us see why this question became bonus. Yeah, what information was missing? In reality, all IT was required to make this a beautiful question was they could have, if they gave that what type of gas was this, like monatomic, polyatomic, or diatomic, then we would have been able to solve this question. So anyway, I'm going to solve this question assuming the a certain variable, and I'm going to show you if we were having that information, like about the atomicity of the gas, then we would have indeed been able to solve this question. So let us see how to solve this question if we have that information. So eventually, let us say piston settles at this position and this is the equilibrium, right? So we call this distance y, which is what we are interested in finding. Hence, we can say that loss in the gravitational potential energy of the piston, which is m into g into y minus 4, because it was at a distance of 4 from the top, will be is equals to, and now it is at y. So this is the loss in the gravitational potential energy will be contained in the gas, right? I hope you're understanding, because this we can also say that this is the work done by the gravity. So this will increase the internal energy of the gas. So which is n 0.2 we are going to take, because total moles in this system is 0.2. CV. Now CV again I'm going to say is alpha r, because We don't know what type of gas is this. So alpha is like, for example, if it was a monatomic gas, then alpha would have been 3 by 2. If it was a diatomic gas, then alpha would have been 5 by 2, and likewise. So NCB delta T, right? R is also 8.3, so R and 8.3 are gone. So this becomes 100 upon 2, which is 50 into Y minus 4 upon alpha. This is the rise in the temperature. After that, the idea remains the same. We can say that here pressure is P, then here pressure will be P plus mg by area. So if you write PV equals to an RT over here, so what will we write? P into volume of this part will be Y into A. That should be equals to 0.1, or we can divide by, okay, by temperature also, PV by T. So T will be, initial temperature was 300 plus delta T, right? This is the change in temperature we have already found out. So 50 into Y minus 4 divided by alpha. So PV by T, PV by T, let me write this properly. Yeah. So PV by T is equals to NR. R is 8.3, right? And for the bottom cylinder, we can say that P, which is this, into V will be 8 minus Y into A, right? So PV by T will be same because piston is conducting. 300 plus 50 into Y minus 4 upon alpha, correct, is equals to NR. N is 0.1 into 8.3. Again, you can see that P into A is replaceable fully in terms of Y. So if you put A here, so A will go inside, and PA will become, value of PA we can say is computable from the top equation in terms of Y, right? So if you put here A, so PA plus mg, right, whole upon this T final, we can say 300 plus 50 into Y minus 4 upon alpha into 8 minus Y. 8 minus Y. This will be is equals to 0.83. So PA value we already know in terms of Y. So if you substitute it over here, it is easy to see that whole equation would have come in terms of Y. Only alpha is a unknown variable. So as I said, if alpha was a known quantity, the question would have been solved because we would be getting a single equation in terms of Y. So this is the idea, and that's why this question became bonus, because IIT forgot to give the value of Y, sorry, alpha. But this indeed was a beautiful question, and I'm sure that you would have enjoyed the solution. You would have learned something new. Do make sure to read that PDF, guys. Thank you. Thank you.